So my first memory about being a Christian would probably have to come, I was about 8 or 9 years old, and I remember laying in my bed one night and I was scared to go to hell. And so I just prayed to Jesus and I said, "Hey, Lord, I would like to go to heaven and I know you can get me there." And that's pretty much it. It was a very simple prayer, and from then on I basically just thought, okay, things are figured out. I'm going to heaven, we're all good. I grew up around Christians. All my friends and family were believers, and so that was just the environment I was used to. When I got to high school, that's when baseball really became something very serious to me, and I told myself I told myself I was going to do whatever it takes to play college baseball, and hopefully Division I baseball would have been amazing. Growing up around Christians, I kind of developed this idea that I need Jesus to get to heaven. I knew that, obviously, but I just didn't realize that I needed Christ to live life down here. And so I developed this idea that I could figure it out on my own, and I relied on myself a lot to be a good person and to be faithful and to do the things that I needed to do in everyday life. The thought of needing help from anybody else was really foreign to me. So I relied on myself for everything, and to be honest, that worked really well for a long time. I was good in school. I was really good at baseball. I played basketball as well. I respected my parents. I was a good friend. People liked being around me, and to be honest, things were all good. And that lasted until about junior year of high school, and then everything just kind of stopped working. And the thing about relying on yourself and trusting yourself to be good is that you're going to faceplant every single time. Every single time. And Jeremiah 17 says that cursed is the man who trusts in man and makes flesh his strength. And I definitely trusted myself for everything. And so what seemed like all of a sudden to me, I was just starting to have a lot of restless nights and sleepless nights where I was just sick of all the pressure and sick of relying on myself, and especially on the mound. I used to get very, very nervous before outings and before games, just because I was just so built up and I trusted in myself and thought it's all up to me, and that was just a frustrating feeling. And so around junior year, a lot of hard stuff started happening in my life. My mom got cancer for the second time, which was very tough. One of my high school teammates died in a car accident, and then I had another friend die in a jet ski accident, and that was pretty difficult. And just like, I mean, a lot of young men these days, I started going to pictures of naked girls on the internet for comfort and pleasure that I thought I needed, and that was just a very tough time for me. And on the baseball field, I didn't perform very well at all. I remember going to this very important camp. If you wanted to play college baseball, it was very high profile, and I had the worst outing of my life. And I was nervous before I threw, and I was completely devastated after I threw. And that was pretty much my baseball career. I just got very, very nervous, and it was terrible. And so I came back from that camp after all this other stuff had happened, and it was the worst. I was just broken, and I was at the end of myself, and I knew something needed to change. So the turning point, I guess, really came when I read 2 books. One was Mere Christianity, and the other was The Cost of Discipleship. And both of those books preached the same message, and it was this: that I can do nothing to earn God's favor and earn my salvation, really. And life is not at all about what I do for God, and it's 100% about what God did for me on the cross. And once I heard that, it was so freeing. And from that point on, I started praying. I started asking God every morning, "Lord, today help me to give up and help me to stop trying, and basically just help me to surrender to you and what you did for me." And that was a transforming truth in life for me, and also on the baseball field. I was no longer nervous when I pitched. I was more just excited to get out there and throw. I was basically just free to live, and free to live for God and not for myself, and free to not have to rely on myself for anything, which as an athlete is a very difficult thing to do, and at times it was a very difficult thing to pray. But I've found most that as life goes on and as I throw and every time I take the mound, really it's all about just me being given the opportunity to use the skills that I have to worship God and to play for Him. And it makes life so much more fun. It makes playing sports so much more fun. It's really an unbelievable sense of freedom that I've been able to experience, and I'm thankful for that very, very much. So my name is Spencer Ansett. I'm a left-handed pitcher for the Whitworth Pirates, and this place right here is where I worship God, and it's where I find the most joy.